Thank you so much, Jim. Thanks, everybody. I think you'll agree with me when I say the world needs more brave, more courageous leadership right now, more than ever. And so many of us are hearing that call to step into our next level of leadership. We're looking around at a world that's really not working, and we're seeing new systems or structures that we sense need to be put into place. We might even hear the words that are longing to be spoken, to move people into action, to touch people's hearts. My clients, so many of them are feeling that yearning to make a bigger difference. And they even tell me sometimes it's like a voice behind them or a force behind them that is motivating them into action, that there's something they feel like they have to do. Or sometimes they say, Kim, I can't not do this thing. You know, I need to step into my next level of leadership. And at the same time that you're feeling that, there's so many of us that are feeling utter fear, dread, a sense of hopelessness, even in times that are really uncertain and we really don't know what the future is going to be like. All of those things can come up. So when things feel really bad like that, sometimes we might just want to get under the covers and hide. And I'm making this video right now in the time of COVID-19 where I know at the initial onset of this, there was so much shock that we really couldn't do anything. For the first couple of weeks, I think we did just want to get under the covers, and people didn't know how to speak about what was going on. They didn't know how to stand up and lead. And so I actually developed a process that I'm going to share with you today. I'm going to talk about how do we lead, especially when we don't feel like it. I'm Kim Carpenter, and I'm actually the founder of World Changing Women. And I help women who feel that deep yearning to make a bigger difference, to step into their leadership, know themselves as the world changers that they are, so they can make their greatest contribution to humanity. And if you're watching this, whether you're a man or a woman, I want to say you are a leader. Now, you might say, how do you know that, Kim? You don't even know me. But I want to start here. I want to start with what is leadership. Brene Brown, who's the author of Dare to Lead, defines a leader as anyone who takes responsibility for finding the potential in people and processes and has the courage to develop that potential. So leadership isn't about titles or corner offices. It's really about the willingness to step up and put yourself out there and lean into courage. And she also says there's no courage without vulnerability. So feeling that fearful, I want to stay under the covers, is part of that, is part of leadership. And the world is desperate for braver leaders, and it's time for all of us to step up. So I want you to take a moment and make this real for yourself today. So really think about what is the next level of leadership that you are feeling called to step into. And first, I want you to see how you already are a leader. I would say you're already a world changer. How do you lead every day in your family, your work, your community, and maybe even your world at large, whether you're working for yourself or you're working inside of an organization? Whether you're a parent or a family member, how do you lead? How do you do what Brene says and take on the responsibility for noticing and acknowledging the potential in people and processes and moving those things forward? And then I want you to see what gets in your way of stepping into that next level of leadership. Now, we all feel wobbly sometimes, right? It's like I said, it's a part of it. We want to hide. We have waves of fear and doubt and uncertainty. Even in the good times, we have thoughts that come up and arise. How do we overcome these things? I would say we find a powerful place to stand on a foundation that enables us to step into our leadership in a bigger way. We question our thoughts, first and foremost, about ourselves, about others, about the situation, to uncover a deeper truth. So I'm going to take us through the stand process today and have you work on this. So I want you to, again, think of a real world example. Like, What's keeping you from fully stepping up into what you want to do? What's that force behind you? What's being called of you in your life that you know inside is really true, even though you might deny it? You might not feel like you're ready for it. Let's put that front and center. Let's put that on the table right now. All right, so the first step in the stand process is the story. What is the story that you're telling yourself about that situation? What is the story you're telling yourself about yourself? I work all day long with incredible leaders, typically business leaders, community leaders, nonprofit leaders, people who have initiatives that they're putting forth in the world, that taking responsibility for those processes. And this always comes up, no matter how high of a leader they are. They might be leading an organization of thousands of people, or they might just be a solopreneur. They might be leading a big community initiative, or they might just be getting started with stepping into their leadership. These things come up. The first thing is not me. The second one is not now. And the third one is not sure. So look and see if any of those are coming up for you. Not me would sound like, who am I? Who am I to do this? Who am I to think that I can step into leadership? It's that imposter syndrome that comes up. And I'm not enough, not me. I'm not enough. I'm not skilled enough. I'm not experienced enough. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough of whatever that might be coming up for you. If any of this is resonating, write this down. Not now might be the next one, right? Not now is not a good time. Oh my gosh, if you have a business that you're trying to launch in the world, or you're trying to take to the next level, and you're looking at, oh my gosh, not now, the economy, we don't know what's going to happen, or not now, people don't want to hear my message, or not now, people don't want to be sold to. Whatever that not now is for you, write that down. Could be not enough, there's not enough time, there's not enough money right now, there's not enough clarity right now, there's not enough information right now, or the world is not ready right now. These are thoughts and ideas, write them down. The next one is not sure. I'm not sure what to do, I'm not sure where to go next, I'm not sure where to focus, I'm not sure, I don't have the clarity that I need. These are all inside of a story. So whatever your story is, take some time to flesh this out. If you're watching the recording of this later, I would even pause this and really take time to just let yourself get all of the story out of you. Let yourself go there, okay? Then we're gonna move on to the next step. So the next step in the stand process is T, and it stands for truth. What is actually the truth in reality? What really is happening versus the story that you're making up about what's happening? So this takes a little bit of something, because we often get stuck in our feelings about that, or we get stuck in beliefs like, I believe myself to be a certain way, or I believe the world to be a certain way. But let's see what's actually happening. So start with where you actually are right now. Where are you sitting? What's actually happening is you're looking at a device and watching a video. What's actually happening is you're in a space that has an internet connection, and you're in a certain location in the world. You're in a structure, or maybe you're outside. What's actually happening? You have the clothes on that you have on, and then let's take it out further. Your life and who you are, what's actually happening. You have a job or you don't. Your bank account is your bank account. Your credit cards are your credit card. Your work is your work. Your family is your family. You're with them or you're not. That's actually what's happening in reality. So we want to look at the truth versus what's happening. If you had a conversation with someone, you said words and they said words. That's actually what happened. Everything else you're putting on top of that is the meaning that you're attributing to what's actually happening. The next step in the stand process is to look at what is there to accept or acknowledge about what's actually happening. So some things we just can't change, right? My bank account is what it is today, right in this moment, in this second in time. I'm accepting that. I'm willing to accept that. The fact that I'm isolated in my home with my cat and the rest of my family's in California, that's what is so. I'm not going to get on an airplane right now. I'm accepting that, right? Maybe certain things happened or didn't happen. What do you accept? What can you accept? And then let's look at what can you acknowledge. If you have a story about not me, not now, not sure, what can you actually acknowledge about yourself? So I'm not enough. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough experience. What can you actually acknowledge? What experience do you have? What education do you have? Who are you? What passion do you have about the change that you want to make in the world? Let's take some time to acknowledge that. A bonus tip for you is to go back to old testimonials, performance reviews, if you work for a company, anything anyone ever said that was nice about you. And to remember that, to write that down, and to acknowledge that about yourself. That helps you create that stand for your leadership. The next step in the process is, what's the new belief? So now that we've seen the story, we've seen what's reality, and we've seen what we can accept, what is the new belief, the new thought, the new possibility, the new way of being in action that you want to take on? What is longing to be created newly? In acknowledging yourself and the situation and seeing what is there, what can you now take a new stand on and say, hey, you know what? I have the education I have the bank account I have the business that I have, but what I'm declaring that I'm creating newly is this. I am going to make this amount of revenue. I'm going to get a promotion. I'm going to keep my job, or I'm going to quit and start something new. I have so many clients I'm talking to right now who, in the midst of an economic uncertain time, are saying, you know what? I want more. I'm meant for more. I think I want to start my own business now. So what is the new that's calling you in your life? And write that down. And the last step in the stand process is to do. What is there to do now? What action is there to take? There is no result without action. I'm going to say that again. There are no results without actions. So what is there to do now? What actions are there to take? Maybe an action is non-action, right? I know there's a lot of pressure, especially for entrepreneurs, people telling you, you have to get out there and you have to speak and you have to do this and you have to do that. And people are feeling like, you know what? My action right now is to go inward, is to cultivate a sense of presence and peace, is to tune in to my inner guidance, my heart and my intuition and my knowing about now is the time to actually give some space so that I'm ready to be the leader that I know that I was born to be. So I'm ready for that next step. Or I'm taking some time. I do see an education or a skill gap. Taking some time to learn about that. I'm taking some time to develop myself around that. So maybe your action doesn't look like making a list and doing the next step. For some of you, it will. For some of you, it will be, oh my gosh, you know, I need to get on videos like this. I need to speak. My voice is meant to be heard. I need to get on YouTube or Facebook Live or LinkedIn Live or whatever it is. I have a message for the world. My next level of leadership looks like that. Whatever that is for you, whether that's peace or being in huge momentous action, honor that. Trust yourself. Honor that about yourself. Now you have a place to stand, right? When you've looked at your thoughts, questioned them, looked at reality, seen what you can acknowledge, accept, what is the new reality that you're creating and what is there to do, you have a place to stand. And from this place, you can take action, you can trust yourself. But I also know that it's not so easy to do on our own. And I often say it takes a village to grow a leader, right? And so sometimes we need other people around us who are reflecting ourselves back to us, who are showing us who we really are that we can't possibly see. That's why that bonus tip was go back and look at the performance reviews or the testimonials, the things that people said about us, because sometimes we can't see ourselves, especially when we're feeling wobbly and when we're questioning our value or confidence or whatever. And so if you are a woman, I just wanted to let you know about something that I have going on Facebook. I have a Facebook group called World Changing Women Rising. And so you're welcome to come and join this community of incredible women leaders who are stepping up into the next level of leadership and supporting each other to do that. There are tools and resources like this one, other practices that we're cultivating for ourselves and with each other so that we can step into the next level of leadership. If you're a guy, I'm sorry, but I would love to talk with you. You can find out more information about me at kimcarpenter.net. I also have the World Changing Women site at worldchangingwomen.com. If you want a copy of the STAND process, and I have a worksheet that goes along with it, I would be happy to share that with you. You can email me at kim@worldchangingwomen.com. So I just want you to know that I'm standing with you and for you as the world is calling you into your next level of leadership. I believe in you, and I know that you can do it, that anything is possible. And I also want to just say thank you so much for the leader that I know you already are, for all that you do for yourself, your family, your community, for all of the ways that you show up that no one has ever thanked or acknowledged you for. I want to acknowledge you for that. So thank you so much. And thank you, Jim, and your team for putting this whole series together. It's been such an honor.